Hello and welcome, small business owner. Jeffrey Taylor here, and I'm the Director of Search Engine Marketing for LocalGoldMine.com. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is something very important, and as a small business owner, you really need to take a few minutes of your time because I'm not here to sell you anything. Now, the purpose of this video is to give you some straight information about what a website should be and why you need to be extremely careful before you pull the trigger on getting your website built. Now, let me begin by saying, first of all, that 10 years ago, a website for a small business was not really a necessity. In fact, for most people, it was more of a status symbol, something you could tell your friends you had, and it was kind of cool to tell people you had a website. But back then, it really didn't have the power that it potentially has today. You see, now in 2010, there's over 90% of people using the internet to find local businesses. They're using it to find products and services in their local area. And a website for a small business in the local market is no longer an option. Now, the important thing to understand is that a website needs to be set up properly so that you can use it as a powerful marketing tool, because that's what it should be. So the bottom line is, just building a website is not necessarily going to help you get the job done. So let me explain what I mean by that. Now, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've worked on a lot of websites myself. I've built and designed numerous websites. I've worked with a lot of website designers over the years, and I have my own website design team that works with my clients. But what I've found as a search engine marketer is that most website designers know nothing about marketing. They know absolutely nothing about search engine optimization. They just build websites. So this is what usually will happen. They'll give you a quote. They'll tell you, this is what we're going to build. It's going to be 10 pages, 5 pages, whatever. This is where we're going to put it. This is what we're going to put on it. This is how we're going to do it, blah, 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 blah. $3,000, maybe $5,000, $10,000, whatever. You know, that's what they're going to charge you. But what happens is, and this is where you really need to be careful, because without marketing knowledge, all they're really doing is giving you a website. Now, let me give you a good analogy here. Let's say you built a beautiful 5-star restaurant in the middle of the desert with a road that nobody travels on. Now, you're going to open that beautiful restaurant, and you're not going to have any traffic. You're not going to be able to do any business. Well, that's the same thing that happens when you hire a website designer that doesn't know anything about marketing. You see, your website needs to start out from day one with the potential to be successful. And what I mean by successful is your website should be designed to get maximum traffic from your local market and bring you new customers. It needs to get your phones ringing. It needs to fill up your store. It needs to help you sell more products. And that's why when I talk to small business owners, I want them to understand that building a website, now whether you hire someone or try to do it yourself, which a lot of people do, is not necessarily going to equate into new customers. So you need to understand it's not going to make you money, and your website should be making you money. And there's no reason why your website should not be put together on day one to drive traffic from your local market and make you money. Now, if it's not, there's something wrong, and you need to sit down and figure out what it is. So let's talk today about the critical areas you need to look at before you build your website, before you pay anybody to build you a website. Now, first of all, let's talk about why you need a website in 2010 as a small business owner. And now when I say small business owner, this could mean a one-person plumbing operation to a 30-employee restaurant to a doctor's office, anyone that's in the local market that's a small business. Now, this is the key, because people are looking online for local businesses. Now, we've already discussed that. They're not using the yellow pages anymore. They're not looking in the newspapers. They're logging on. They're going to search engines, and they're typing in keywords to find specific products and services in their local area. You need your website to not only show up in these search engine results, but it needs to look professional. And this is what I mean. Your website is your window to the world. This is the first impression that a potential customer is going to have about you and your business. So if they get to your website and it doesn't look good, it doesn't look professional, That's the first impression they get about you. And this is why so many people that, they're on a tight budget and they try to build their own website and they buy one of these do-it-yourself website building courses. And what happens is the website really doesn't look good. And it's a bad impression on you. So you need to, first of all, focus on making sure that your website is going to look professional. Now, this is the key. And this is where most website designers drop the ball. Your website needs to be search engine friendly from day one. And what I mean by that, it's real simple. I do a lot of website redesigns because they paid somebody to build a website. The website designer knew nothing about search engine optimization or marketing. Gave them the website went up, they got no traffic because it wasn't showing up in the search engine. So then they come to someone like me who's a search engine optimization specialist, and I look at it, and unfortunately 9 times out of 10 we need to do a complete redesign. So what you end up doing is paying for a website twice, because you paid the one guy for it, he did it, it doesn't work, and now you have to pay someone like me more money to get it to work. So it's really important that you have it ready, search engine friendly, before it ever goes live. Now, this is another major mistake that I see out there, and I would say almost 85-90% of small business websites make this mistake. Your website needs to be customer driven. Now, what do I mean by customer driven? Now, most small business websites that were designed by a website designer that has no marketing skills, they focus on how long you've been in business, what you do, how many employees, any awards or any accolades you may have, and they talk all about your business. Well, unfortunately, that's not customer driven. The customer did not come to your website to learn all those things. The customer came to your website because they had a problem and they're looking for a solution to that problem. So when I say your website needs to be customer driven, it means it has to be focused on the customer, why they're there, and how it's going to solve their problem. If you don't do that, people are going to come to your website, they're not going to solve their problem, and they're going to leave. And then, really important, and this is quite common, your website needs to be locally focused. So when we're doing search engine optimization, when we're setting up your website to become a strong local dominant website in your local market, we have to look at certain modifiers in local areas. Make sure the keywording is designed for that local market. And what I mean by that is, what good is having a lot of traffic if 90% of it is coming from areas that you don't do business in? So we want to make sure we focus on that local market, target market, where you're going to be doing your most business. So, the bottom line here is, before you build that website, before you pay a website designer any money, you need to look at these areas. Now, I'm going to give you something for free here for listening to the whole video. Go to buildalocalwebsite.com. That's buildalocalwebsite.com. And you're going to be able to log into a free video that tells you the 6 critical steps you must take when building a website. It's totally free. It is so valuable. And if you miss just one of these 6 critical steps, your website will probably never make you any money. So I hope that you got a lot out of this video, and I hope you have a better understanding of why it's so important to make sure you hire the right website designer before you get started and save yourself thousands of dollars. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.